Greetings, 5th and 6th graders. It's time for English class today. Please take out your English hardcover book as well as your English workbook. So workbook and hardcover book. All right, we are going to start with the Bible verse for April for English. Say it with me. Ready, set, go. John 10, verse 27 through 28. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they will never perish, and no one will snatch them out of my hand. All right, open up in your hardcover book to page 228. We're going to take a second day to look at adverbs. So follow along on page 228. Remember to pause the video if I go too fast and you need to find your materials. All right, on page 228, we are going to look at the top of the page. An adverb is a word that modifies or describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. But today we're just working with adverbs that modify or describe verbs. Adverbs that modify verbs answer these questions: how, where, when, or to what extent. Look at the examples by the blue arrows in your book. How? Jackie left quickly. How did Jackie leave? She left quickly. Quickly is the adverb that answers the question, how? Next one, where? She arrived there. Okay. Arrived is our verb. Where did she arrive? There. There is the adverb that answers the question, where? When? Then she returned. Well, returned is our verb. It's what she's doing. When did she return? Then. Then is our adverb. And to what extent? She thoroughly explained. Explained is what she's doing. That's the action. To what extent did she explain? Well, she thoroughly explained. Thoroughly is the adverb that describes the verb explain. Let's do the guided practice together. Number 1, I really enjoyed the trip. First off, let's find the verb. What is the verb in that sentence? I really enjoyed the trip. Okay. Enjoyed is our verb. It's the action of the sentence. Enjoyed. To what extent did you enjoy? I really enjoyed the trip. Really is our adverb. It tells us to what extent we enjoyed. Number 2, Mom drove carefully and well. What's our action verb in that sentence? Mom drove carefully and well. Drove is our verb. How did Mom drive? Mom drove how? You're right. There's 2 adverbs. Mom drove carefully and Mom drove well. Both are adverbs that describe how the mom drove. Number 3, Dad always checked the maps. What's our verb? Checked. Okay. When did Dad check the maps? Well, he always checked the maps. Always is our adverb. Number 4, we usually headed north. We usually headed north. What's our verb? Headed is our verb. And what describes headed? Not where. We're not worried about north. It's usually. We usually headed north. Okay, to what extent? All right, number 5. Finally, we arrived there. What's our verb? Finally, we arrived there. Arrived. Okay, there are 2 adverbs that describe arrived. Which one answers the question where you arrived? Okay, and which one answers the question when you arrived? Very good. Finally, we arrived, and finally, we arrived there. Number 6, luckily, we returned safely. What is our verb? Returned. And what two adverbs describe returned? How did we return? Safely and luckily, or luckily and safely we returned. Remember, an adverb can modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb, but for today we're just focused on the adverbs that modify verbs. An adverb can answer the question how, where, when, or to what extent. All right, so today for your assignment, you are actually going to take a second look at your English workbook, page 56. So you need to find that, take it out. You maybe need to mark it differently or get a highlighter out, do something different than you did the first time around. So we are going to fix some of the answers and we're going to start and do a little bit of it together. So pause the video if you need time to find page 56. If you don't have that page, you cannot find it. This should be big enough on your screen, especially if you maximize this YouTube video so that you can see the answers on your screen and write them on a sheet of paper. So looking at the first one, number 1. Susan B. Anthony first was a school teacher. Let's find the verb first. What is the verb? Susan B. Anthony first was a school teacher. Not an action verb. It's actually a being verb like am, was, were. What's the verb in this sentence? Susan B. Anthony first was a school teacher. Was. Was is the verb. Yep. So go ahead, mark that as a verb. Maybe you want to put a V by it, or maybe you want to highlight it, circle it, or underline it. Mark the verb was. Okay. What is the adverb in this sentence that tells us when she was? Susan B. Anthony first was a school teacher. What's our adverb? Yeah, first. First tells us when she was a school teacher. So first is our adverb and was is our verb. Write that down. All right, let's do number 2 together as well, and then I'll set you free. Number 2, locally, she fought for workers' rights. Locally, she fought for workers' rights. What is our verb? What is she doing in this sentence? This one is an action verb. All right, the verb is fought. Mark that as a verb. Circle it, underline it, put a V above it, mark that as the verb, fought. Fought is what she did. Now let's look for the adverb that describes how, when, where, or to what extent she fought. Locally, she fought for workers' rights. Where did she fight? Locally. Locally is our adverb that describes when she fought for workers' rights. So mark locally as your adverb and fought as your verb. All right, that's it for the free answers. And yes, those were 4 free answers. There is a new Google form for you. It's a little bit different than the one you did last week for you to write down your answers. So finish this page, find the verb and the adverb, and then you're ready for the Google form to mark your answers in there. Remember, the Google form is what I grade to know if you're understanding this or if you need some extra help and things like that. So make sure when you type your answers in, you're spelling them correctly or clicking them correctly. So in summary, you need to fill out or fix workbook page 56. No photograph is necessary of it. But once you fix the whole page, marking the verb and the adverb, then open up the Google form and type in your answers. Remember to spell your adverbs and your verbs correctly because the computer will mark them on if you don't spell them correctly. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for joining me for this review of adverbs. All right, I hope you feel a little more confident with your adverbs and you can use your adverbs freely. All right, bye.